Top 10 African countries with the lowest cost of living in 2023. I'll be showing you the 10 African nations with the lowest costs of living in today's video. We currently deal with a wide range of issues, including hunger, poverty, and a lack of social services like roads, water, and healthcare. This decade has been a misery to live in because of the global economic crisis. Despite our many difficulties, some nations continue to provide high standards of living at a low cost. Have you ever wondered which African nation, in the current climate of rising commodity prices, offers the lowest cost of living? Comparing living in Africa to Asia, Europe, and North and South America, it appears considerably more challenging. These are the 10 African nations with the lowest cost of living, according to a detailed review of living conditions, wages, employment opportunities, and social amenities. Hello there, welcome. You are watching Africa Reloaded. I am James, your host. Before we start the countdown, kindly take a few seconds to like this video. The cost of living is one of several elements that affect a nation's economy. The level of life, consumer purchasing power, and investment prospects are all directly impacted by the cost of living, making it essential for a nation's economic stability. 10. Uganda. Cost of Living Index, 32.1. One of the best places in Africa to live comfortably on a tight budget is this country. The cost of living and average rent are 50% lower in Uganda than in Cameroon, another African nation. Its official languages are English and Swahili, and Uganda is a multilingual nation. Additionally, the nation has a vibrant, hospitable culture that makes it simple for foreigners to integrate. Furthermore, most trips to Uganda are trouble-free. Without housing, a single person's projected monthly expenses are $525.06. Without rent, Kampala is 66.7% cheaper than New York. In Uganda, food and other necessities are also reasonably priced. In Uganda, there are many basic social services provided, including power, water, healthcare, and more. 9. Nigeria. Cost of Living Index, 30.9. For many people, it can be difficult to live comfortably in Nigeria. Yet in comparison to other nations, the cost of living is quite modest. You will require at least 200,000 naira a month to live well in Nigeria. Your essential living costs, such as rent, food, and transportation, will be met by this sum. You should budget between 50,000 naira and 150,000 naira each month for groceries and housing on average. Housing costs is lower if you relocate to a smaller city. It's critical to remember that the cost of living in Nigeria is unpredictable and subject to change depending on variables like inflation and exchange rates. 8. Tanzania. Cost of Living Index, 30.8. Tanzania has an average cost of living that is 58.7% lower than that of the United States. Tanzanian rent is typically 78.4% less expensive than American rent. When it comes to food, transportation, and in some situations, lodging, money in Tanzania may go a very long way. One of the world's most beautiful nations is Tanzania. Zanzibar's natural splendor, the Serengeti's wildlife, Kilimanjaro, Africa's tallest peak, the local culture, and other factors combine to make the island a true paradise for residents. Tanzania has an $862 cost of living, which is 1.13 times less expensive than the global average. Out of 197 nations, Tanzania came in 95th place for cost of living. 7. Rwanda. Cost of Living Index, 30.0. Rwanda is not only the cleanest country in Africa, but it is also one of the nations with a high standard of living at a reasonable price. Summary of Kigali, Rwanda's cost of living without rent, the average monthly expense for a family of 4 is $1,537.02. Without housing, a single person's projected monthly expenses are $433. There is a sizable expat population in the nation, and newcomers frequently report little difficulties there. The main cash crops for export in Rwanda are coffee and tea, and subsistence agriculture accounts for the majority of the country's GDP. Healthcare, food, energy, and other necessities of life are inexpensive and widely accessible. Morocco. Cost of living index 29.3. Moroccan culture is unique due to its Berber, Arabian, and European influences. Morocco is a North African nation that borders the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. Morocco has a $586 cost of living, which is 1.67 times less expensive than the global average. In terms of cost of living, Morocco was placed 100th out of 197 nations and was the 150th greatest place to live. A single individual should budget $30.40 per week on groceries, while a family of 4 should budget $50.60. In Morocco's city center, a one-bedroom apartment runs between $245 and $550 a month, which is a pretty reasonable price given the high standards of the nation. Before we continue, please remember to subscribe to Africa Reloaded and become a member of our community. 5. Algeria. Cost of living index 27.6. Algeria is a North African nation having a Saharan desert interior and a Mediterranean coast. This nation is one of the most advanced on the continent. It offers a low cost of living despite being developed and having a good standard of living. Although this country is friendly to expats, xenophobic acts against foreigners have recently drawn attention to it. Without rent, the projected monthly expenses for a family of 4 are $1,415.06. Without rent, the projected monthly expenses for a single individual are $407.03. In comparison to the United States, Algeria has a 62% lower cost of living. The average rent in Algeria is 90.7% less than it is in the United States. 4. Ghana. Cost of living index 26.7. Ghana is among the friendliest countries in Africa and has a high standard of living in addition to having a low cost of living. The average rent in Ghana is 62.1% less than it is in the US. Accra, Ghana's cost of living summary. Costs per month are estimated at $1,593 for a family of 4. Without housing, a single person's estimated monthly expenses are $449.07. Without rent, Accra is 72.5% less expensive than New York. Ghanaian housing is very well structured, with all available apartments and homes advertised online. In Ghana, social facilities are reasonably priced and easily accessible. Ghana is a pretty safe country as well. 3. Tunisia. Cost of living index 26.5. The most northern nation in Africa is Tunisia. Its borders with Algeria to the west and southwest, Libya to the southeast, and the Mediterranean Sea to the north and east form part of the Maghreb region of North Africa. In general, this nation's lining is less expensive than that of other African nations. The standard of living is great, and the nation is well developed. Social services like water, education, and healthcare are all readily available and of high quality. Rent in Tunisia is exceedingly low, which is why many newcomers seek for rental homes near the beach. For less money, roughly $110 per month, you might opt to rent an apartment away from the tourist attractions. 2. Libya. Cost of living index 24.2. Libya is a nation in North Africa's Maghreb area. The Mediterranean Sea forms its northern boundary, and Algeria, Egypt, Sudan, Chad, and Tunisia make up its western, eastern, southern, and southernmost borders, respectively. In comparison to the United States, Libya has an average cost of living that is 66.6% lower. The average rent in Libya is 88.5% less than it is in the US. Although this country has had political unrest for a long time, it nevertheless enjoys a good level of living and affordable costs. 1. Egypt. Cost of living index 21.6. The Arab Republic of Egypt is a transcontinental nation that shares a land border with both the southwest and northeast corners of Asia and Africa. It can be quite difficult to adapt to the culture in Egypt. However, it's a great place for open-minded and daring expats because of the amazing landmarks, breathtaking scenery, and low cost of living. Egypt is more affordable to go to than regions like Europe, North America, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. Egypt is comparable to Southeast Asia in terms of cost for travel. Egypt is a great place to work if you enjoy being organized. Without rent, a single person's projected monthly expenses are $293.2. In comparison to the United States, Egypt has a 73.8% lower cost of living. The average rent in Egypt is 92.8% less than it is in the US. Thanks for watching to the end. Let us know what you think by commenting in the comment box below. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to enable the notification icon so as to get alerts when we post a new video.